And dear Lord, also, please just bless the food that we will take after this meeting. These blessings are asked in our name for our sake. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. I have and don't have an agenda all at the same time. We might run a little bit over, prayerfully we will not. Did everybody get their email with the minutes?
Yes.
Did you read them?
Yes.
Are there any amendments that need to be made to the minutes that you received? So let's get a motion.
I make a motion that the minutes be accepted as they were presented to us.
Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that our minutes will be approved as written. If anybody's here that need the minutes, I do have a few copies if you want to see it. Do you need one? This evening we got some special guests in the house, but I got a young lady here that I think she's kind of special, so I'm gonna let her come on up first. Ms. Patience, you want to introduce your guest?
Yes. Good evening, how is everyone?
Good evening.
Hi. I have the pleasure of presenting to you all a young lady that I have known since we had to grasshopper from school and from church. She's here to do a presentation. She is in the STEM program, and she has been offered a great opportunity to travel to California. And if you all know, traveling to California is not cheap, it's expensive. So she's here on behalf to present to us the program and all and everything. And if we find it in our hearts to help her out, please do so. Asia. She is a student of IC Norcom High School.
Greyhound.
I'm also a Greyhound cheerleader.
Greyhound cheerleader.
Hi, my name is Asia Monet, and I am very passionate about my grades and my future plans. I'm an honor roll student, and my GPA is 4.375. And I am currently the #1 ranked in my freshman class of 312 students. I am determined to become an engineer, even though I have not narrowed down what type of engineer I want to be. I've been given the opportunity to participate in the Pathways to STEM program. I was nominated by my engineering design teacher, Ms. Overcamp at IC Norfolk High School. The NYLF, which is National Youth Leadership Forum, is offering a STEM program that uses engineering to address global concerns with math, science, and technology. Students like myself have the opportunity to learn the key concepts of engineering, as well as critical thinking and problem-solving skills. The program includes a week on a college campus, the opportunity to earn college credits, a host of speakers, and courses such as coding, robotics, criminal investigation, and medical engineering. I've been nominated for this program a total of 3 times. However, due to the financial cost of the program, I've only participated once at Winston-Salem. My time there is an experience that I won't forget. I had so much fun, y'all. The total cost of the program is more than what it was then. It is now $3,994, not including the travel costs, and participants have the option of attending University of California or Georgia Tech. I am grateful for any support that can be given, even a word of encouragement. Though I am excited about the opportunity to attend the program, with or without, I love STEM. More so math, that's my favorite subject. And I'm determined to become an engineer. Thank you in advance. Thanks for listening.
you. Miss Teresa has a guest in the house tonight as well.
Yes, Miss Valda.
Hello, everybody. My name is Valda, and I am a retired Navy. I started sewing when I was real young, and I'm more of a quilter now. And I was having an issue trying to find a place to teach sewing and quilting because facilities were charging so much, and this is something that I wanted to give back to my community. Ms. Teresa has blessed me to come in here and use her facility to teach to young kids how to sew, because this is an art I feel that is dying out, okay? Also to seniors, young kids, so that's what I'm doing. So tonight, I just wanted to come to this community because I'm going to be using this center, and if anybody has any young kids and I'm talking between 9 and 15, that wants to learn how to sew or learn how to craft, they're more than welcome to come. Also, senior citizens, because sometimes, we get retired and we get complacent and we don't have anything to do or to keep us busy. So that's another thing that I want to do to senior citizens. May it be crafting, or may it be quilting, or just doing something to keep their hands busy, painting and stuff like that. So I did bring a couple of things that I've made. So things like this, like a tote bag. We're getting away with the plastic bags when we can't in the grocery store. So this is a nice bag that you can use, to take your groceries. My passion is quilting, and this is not my best quilt, but it is a quilt, okay, that I've made. And this is another one that I've made. And this one is the first in my Underground Railroad. This one is the log cabin. So if everybody knows the log cabin, snail trail from the Underground Railroad, this is the first in that series. Okay, so, and last but not least, some other little things, arts and crafts. My last class, we made little bags. And this one is for Miss Teresa.
Oh, thank you.
And this one is going to you because I'm not giving you my shirt. I'm giving you Thank you so much. And we do other little things like notebooks, composition notebooks. I cover them. I made 150 before COVID and gave it to all the elementary kids that was in my neighborhood. So that's another arts and craft that we can do, and I'm giving that to Miss Teresa.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very nice.
And little pouches. I did this for breast cancer last year. I think I made about 50 of them and gave them to breast cancer awareness people. So that's something, that's for Miss Teresa.
to look alike.
And then, as you know, when COVID hit, I did masks, and I donated, I'm not even going to tell that lie. I don't remember how much masks I donated to the hospitals for people that was working there, but I did. And I made a little money on the side for other people, but I donated, every one that I sold, I made one and gave to the hospital. So I'm giving these to you, and you can give them to whoever you want to, okay? But those are just some of the little things that I do. I don't do garments anymore. I do dusters and little things like that. But I'm more into quilting because that's where my passion lies, okay? And these bags and stuff like this, I've been making, this was my very first bag that I made. But I say that to say this. If you know some senior citizen that would like to take a sewing class or just come in and do some arts and crafts on a Saturday afternoon, get in contact with me. Miss Teresa has my business card.
Right here.
It's going to be free. I have tons of fabric. I have people donating stuff to me. Haven't even kicked it off yet, and people are donating. So I'll have supplies for the senior citizen and for the young kids to give them something to do, and maybe they'll pick up on this craft as well, okay? And I do offer sewing classes, but that's not why I'm here. I want to give back to the community, to the senior citizen, and to the teenagers, okay? To give them some type of, skill set that they can either carry on with. Hey, make some book bags for to put all those books in, just some sense of accomplishment. So I thank Miss Teresa from the bottom of my heart to be able to come in here and use this facility to do what I love to do. And if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out and talk to me.
Yeah, I noticed you had a quilt about the Underground Railroad.
I do.
Now, when you're doing that, especially with the young folks, do you have the opportunity to talk about the historic significance of
absolutely.
quilting and what it meant? That was a way of communication
Absolutely.
back in the day?
I can talk your head off.
Okay. All right.
I'm from Johns Island, South Carolina. I am truly Geechee.
Don't sound like it.
Yeah,
Okay. No, never mind.
I joined the Navy, top of my class.
Right. Sort of changed.
When I got to the Pentagon, which was my first duty station, they looked at my scores, they looked at me, and they heard me. I had to go to Hampton University 2 days a week for speech class. I was upset because they tried to take away my dialect, you know? But it opened doors for me that I could not have walked through ordinarily. But I am Geechee. When I get with my sisters and my brothers and my mom, I come here, you've been here, you know?
But it's no shame in that
Oh, no,
because
not anymore.
when they
I'm proud
came,
of it.
when they came to that area, that's the dialect.
That's right, Charleston. Johnstown is
Charleston.
20 miles south of
Right.
Charleston.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have our business cards, and they'll be right here if you guys want to,
Thank you. I know I'm moving right along real fast for a reason, but when I got this email from this gentleman, he wanted to come and talk about bargaining and all this other good stuff, and my mind was like, what that got to do with us? I had no idea. But when I was approached, I thought about it, and I say, well, he was within my time limit, so he contacted me early enough, and I said yes, because I'm nosy. So I'm bad with names, so you're going to have to come forward and give us your name from the firefighters
From the union.
firefighters union.
Thank you.
Your name?
My name's Kurt Dietrich. I'm the president of the Portsmouth Professional Firefighters and Paramedics Union. Just a little background. Portsmouth Fire Department has had a union in place since 1937. We're affiliated with the International Association of Firefighters, which is based out of DC and represents over 330,000 firefighters, paramedics, and dispatchers across the United States and Canada. So what we're here to talk about tonight, and we've been going around to as many civic leagues as we can get to, is something new for Virginia, but it's not new to our profession and to the whole country, and that's collective bargaining. So a few years ago, the General Assembly allowed public employees in Virginia to engage in collective bargaining and secure a contract with their employer, and to actually be a recognized bargaining unit in a union. Prior to that, since 1993, it was prohibited. Localities did not have to recognize employee unions, specifically in signing collective bargaining agreements. Now, the benefit of a collective bargaining agreement is for the employees, it lays out your terms and conditions and wages in a set timeline. We know all across the country where there's unionized workforces, wages are better, health insurance is better, and specifically when it comes to fire and EMS, your response times are better, your staffing levels are better, your training is better, your recruitment is better, your retention is better. So we started this process almost 3 years ago with the city. It's been an up and downhill battle. What we need to have done is an ordinance passed by city council authorizing the city to engage in collective bargaining with the employees. All that stuff is done, it's written. We had everything worked out in the work group, and then it kind of fell apart about a year and a half ago. So we've relaunched our campaign with the new city council, and we want to push this forward, but we want to build community support for it because it does have a direct impact on the community. It's not just the firefighters and the paramedics and the other city employees wanting to get pay raises or secure better health insurance. It's about securing a level playing field for all the employees, and it's important to remember that the firefighters and paramedics, because that's what I'm with, so that's what I'm going to talk about, we're the subject matter experts. Okay, we're the ones riding on the fire trucks and on the ambulances every day responding to the calls. We know what resources we need. Fire chiefs, city managers, not just here but everywhere, they come and go, and a lot of them aren't brought up in the system that they're working in. So I know, they know, we were just talking about it before we got in here, we know that this community needs a fire station. It's been talked about since they closed down the station almost 20 years ago now, right? That's stuff that we can put in contracts and negotiate because we know our staffing levels aren't where they should be. We know it's not going to happen overnight, but we can lay that out in the contract if we have that ability to be at the table with city management and bring these issues up. So it's a long drawn out process. It's a long road to get it done, but we feel that it's in the best interest for not only the employees but the community because it's going to level our staffing. We're going to be able to keep employees. We know we have a huge recruitment and retention issue in Portsmouth as public employees. We're the training ground. So, PD's the same boat. We get people on board, get them trained, and then they leave. Just 2 weeks ago, we had 4 firefighters that had right about 10 years, took jobs in Richmond and Suffolk was other. But that's happening all the time, and that's experience that's walking out the door that we need. We can't lose that. They know the neighborhoods, the communities, we respond to the calls, we know the community. So we feel that having the ability to sit down with management through a formal structure It's not a hostage takeover. Everything's got to be negotiated between the union and the city. Employees still have the option to join a union. It's not forced in Virginia. So if they don't want a union representation, they don't have to have it. However, they'll still get the benefit of a contract that the union offers. And we know that that'll raise wages in the city. It'll make better retirements. It'll make better health insurance, and all that stuff will build up the community, and that's what we need. So we're trying to get to as many civic leagues, like I said, to build community support for it. It's something new in Virginia, but it's not new across the country. I think 48 other states already allow this for public employees. We're a little bit behind when it comes to that in Virginia. So we're asking for community support. If you go to the budget forums, give a shout out to the public employees and say, we want our employees to have collective bargaining, a fair voice and seat at the table with management. We were at the Democratic Party committee, was it last week?
Yeah.
And they passed a resolution unanimously requesting city council to adopt collective bargaining for public employees. So that was a nice win and move forward for the employees. It's also important to remember that it's for all full-time city employees. It's not just the firefighters, but they have to have a union come in place. We just are fortunate enough that we've had a union since 1937. So we're one of the older unions in the whole international, which is nice. But we're also one of the oldest unions in the international not to have a contract and have that same right that our brothers and sisters have all across the U.S. and Canada. So I know I had a lot of information. If anybody has any questions, yep.
So, are you all speaking with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission to see how they can help with that?
We have not done that, no. That's a good
And the only reason
idea.
I ask is because my sister is a district director
Okay.
for the EEOC, but she's in South Carolina, and I hear her talk about collective bargaining all the time. And so I was thinking, okay, I wonder if they reached out on the federal level, because EEOC is in federal building on Norfolk, to see how they can help or help with establishing the policies and things.
We can definitely look into that. The one thing that Virginia is a little bit different from, well, not just Virginia, but public sector employees versus private sector, the big difference is the private sector has the NLRB.
Right.
And that kind of sets the framework. What Virginia did was they allowed collective bargaining, but they left it up to each locality how they implement it and if they implement it.
Okay.
So instead of Richmond saying everybody's got to do it, they left it up to each locality. But that's a good, we'll definitely look into
Yeah,
that.
because she talks often, well, she doesn't reveal her cases,
Right.
but she talks often about not federal employees.
Yep.
Not a federal employee, then you come to us and we do representation on your behalf.
Okay.
For your employees, so.
Yeah, thank you, yeah. We'll definitely look into that one.
All right, thank you.
Any more questions?
I have one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know you had a rough time with collective bargaining with the last
Yes.
council, so you have a new makeup, so you're trying it again.
Yes.
But my question is, this group, if they decide they would, want to support, what you guys do, but this group is also represents 7 neighborhoods. Is there any way that you have a roster, somewhere where we can identify people that are part of your group or firefighters in our 7 neighborhoods? It will make it
Yep.
easier for us to represent
Yes.
if we represent people in our own
Yeah,
neighborhoods.
we can do that. We can get you, we'll break down, not just our people that work for Portsmouth, but we also have firefighters that work in other cities that live in Portsmouth, so we can get something from our roster from the other unions, and we can get that to you if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Kurt, real quick, can you talk about the strike?
Yeah, so, good point. There's a rumor going around that we can't do collective bargaining because if the city gives us that, then we'll go on strike. That's completely false. There's a state code in Virginia that if public employees engage in a strike, work slowdown, a sick out, a stoppage, they forfeit their employment for 12 months. So that's not something that's even allowed. And on top of that, as firefighters and first responders, that's not in our nature to not show up and help somebody. So that's nothing more than a scare tactic to keep people from supporting, our right to be able to bargain at the table with our bosses.
That'll work.
Good call on that one.
Well, we thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yep, I'll get
You
you
got
that.
my
Yep,
contact
okay.
information.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. anxious, y'all. I'm real anxious and I'm excited and everything. But before I call my special guest, I'm gonna call him special guest, which is Mr. Amos Taylor, to come up to give you a preview as to how we're gonna lead into this other gentleman. Okay?
Y'all heard that Mr. Brown call me special. I hope that's a good spell. My name is Amos Taylor. I'm with the City of Portsmouth Management. Hello.
How are you?
And I am one of the waste management administrators. We are responsible for picking up all your debris, your recycling, your trash, bulk, all those types of things. We are also responsible for Keep Portsmouth Beautiful, and I am also the executive director of Clean Community Commission. And along with this very, very special young woman that left, we will be putting on some cleanups this summer. She had the opportunity, and I didn't even know she was going to be there last night. We were at a Civic League meeting together, and while we were at that Civic League meeting, and I had been going all weekend last week to Civic Leagues, and what I explained to everyone is that, we've come a long way in our communities as far as getting people to understand about recycling and trying to keep neighborhoods cleaner. But although we've come a long way as a group of just one body, we are so much stronger if we all join together. Ms. Bauer heard me say last night that Portsmouth Boulevard covers a bunch of neighborhoods, not just one. And it's just like crime. When people come down Portsmouth Boulevard, they don't look at it and say, hey, that belongs to this neighborhood. It's Portsmouth Boulevard. So it belongs to all of us. And so we all need to be trying to work together to make sure that these things are done, and so that we can make sure that people that are around us know that we're not going to tolerate it in our communities. I'm not going to say where I was, but I had opportunity. We had a situation going on today where I had to go somewhere close. And so while I was on the street, I got out and saw what was going on, and we were looking at what we're going to have to do to try to get it taken care of. Well, to make a long story short, there was a bunch of litter on the street. I had been talking with a senior, and I couldn't leave it there. So I got some bags out of my truck, and I picked up 2 30-gallon bags, and I'm glad I didn't bring it. I wanted to bring it, but it's such a nice building I didn't bring it. So, but I had 2 30-gallon bags of trash, and I went in the gutter line, and I did 12 houses. And I'm saying that for 2 reasons. Number one, there shouldn't be that much litter out there.
That's right.
Number 2, you don't have to go far to pick up litter. 12 houses on one side, 12 on the other. I also had the opportunity to speak with the young man who saw me picking it up, and we engaged in a conversation, and the conversation went, well, I'm glad you're doing that, because people are always throwing stuff down, and it don't make sense in front of the house. And I said, well, yes, sir. And I said, well, there is a cleanup coming up, and you are right here where you have a very, very special lady that will engage. And the comment he made back was, well, that ain't my problem. I said, but you live here. It's not just my problem. It's not just her problem. It's all of our problem. And if we work together, we can beat it. We can beat this, and we can beat so much more, making our communities better, not just for us who live here, but people who come in to see our communities. And that's what we hope, and that's what we want. So we got some things going on. Y'all know next week it's a big cleanup, and we're going to be out here with you guys. I hope that you are willing to give all of your support the very following week, which will be August the, I'm sorry, forgive me, I'm moving ahead. I got a vacation coming up, y'all. We'll be on March 25th, we'll be participating in the Great American Cleanup, but the cleanup that we're doing on the 18th is also going to be a part of the Great American Cleanup. The only reason we use the 25th is because that's the day that the state wants the entire state of Virginia to clean up. So what I'm saying is, we're going to show people, not only are we going to come out on the 18th, we're going to come back out on the 25th and show them what we can do in our neighborhoods and our community, because we care about where we stand. So we want you guys to be a part of that. We also have some other things coming up. We'll leave some flyers here with Ms. Elvira. We have a recycling event. None of you have ever been to it. They're always at Icenoka High School. They are from 9 a.m. That's going to be on April 1st, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. All you have to do, you bring your car in, you come around. If you have car batteries, fluorescent light bulbs, documents you want shredded, items you want to bring for Goodwill. Like I was telling them last night, told my wife, you ain't with them heels, don't get rid of them. Don't give them up. So if you have, gently used items, the thing is reduce, reuse, recycle. So please bring those items so that they can benefit others. Don't just throw them in the trash. So, and we will also have a Lions Club there. I generally get a new pair of glasses every year, so I take my old glasses and I donate them to the Lions Club. They have they'll take hearing aids. They will also take cell phones. So those types of items, if you'd like to bring them. Oil, or household hazardous waste, paint, up to 5 gallons. And the thing about it is, if you tell me, well, I have more than 5 gallons of paint. We have 3 events a year. The first one in March, the second in August, the third in November. All that information. I'm sorry. I'm moving ahead. Your event got me going again. April, forgive me. But April 1st, it's right here. And I have everything for you all. I'm going to leave all this with Ms. Elvira. And we are hoping to have great turnouts in everything that we do this year. So we look forward to partnering with you. We look forward to working with you. And we'll do all that we can to help you. If you want to put on a cleanup just around the daycare center, we will come out and work with the kids. Just call us, give us a call. We will bring the bags, we will bring the grabbers, and we will take them away. And anybody wanting to do a cleanup, we will bring the bags, we will bring the grabbers, and we will take the bag away. So, please support your communities.
Any questions?
So are you saying we don't necessarily have to have a scheduled cleanup?
No, ma'am.
You know, we can just call if the neighborhood themselves want to do it?
Yes, ma'am. Be proud to do it. We want you to do it. All, not just this week, not just next month, but all year long. All year long. Okay.
My question, hey, how you doing? My
Yes,
question
sir.
would be, you say you're director of the Clean Commission,
Yes,
Clean
sir.
Community Commission. Do they still have a citizens commission
Yes,
with
sir.
that?
Yes, sir. All you have to do, if you'd like to get on it, get in contact with Deborah White and in the city council office, and she will tell you how you can do it.
Okay.
Okay?
And they
We'd love to have you.
meet monthly?
We meet
Okay, all right,
once a month, third Tuesday of the month.
okay. Thank you,
What
sir.
time and where?
We meet at the Waste Management Office, and you're invited to come even if you don't want to be, want to join. I welcome you to come and see what we're talking about and the things that we're trying to do to help change communities. We meet at 5:30, and we try to keep it down to an hour and a half so we can get folks in and get them out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, stay right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, this cleanup that we're doing on the 18th, before I get to the 18th, I got a phone call just prior to the night. But actually, my phone been ringing off the hook all the time. Green Lakes is doing a cleanup on March the 11th. They're trying to do Airline Boulevard. And they asked me to come out to help with that, and if I can get there, I will, but I gotta get my taxes done, and that's first. So, as soon as I finish there, I'll do that, but they also they called and want to join us. But that, to me, that's great. That's great. This, March the 18th was a vision that I had, and I just went crazy with it, that's all I can tell you about it. And so far, we have been, between Maurice, Patience, and myself, we've been rolling. Just trying to get this thing together. And then I got hooked up to this gentleman, and I've been plucking his nerves left and right. And he told me I was moving a little bit too fast, but see, time waits for nobody. So, as of today, the last count I had of organizations, I have 13 organizations that have signed up to work this cleanup thus far. That does not include the individuals that have been calling me, coming out of Virginia Beach, and Johnny, him and his church group is coming out of Virginia Beach. And we got people coming out of Churchland, Murrayfields. Good God. Murrayfield, Swanson Homes, we got them coming from everywhere, which is a great thing. Now, what I have already told most of the folks that I spoke with last night, I was at Brighton Prince Park Civic League meeting, they don't have to come to the Olympian Sports Club unless they just want to come. Wilson Ward have these great women, and we have volunteered each other that we're going to be runners. So if they need something somewhere down the way, down there at the Sportsplex or whatever, we would do that. And the reason why we're going to know what everybody needs is because this gentleman that I'm going to bring up front now, he has blessed us with not only our own vest, so the city ain't got to worry about it. We got our own vest, y'all, so that means I'll be working y'all nerves a lot. And he also is going to equip us with walkie-talkies so that we can keep in touch with each other, what each other need, and whatever. As of today, I have set up 4 stations. And the 4 stations will be Sportsplex, Mount Carmel Baptist Church, but it will be across the street from the church on city property. We're station number 3, which is Wilson Ward, which will be at the Olympian Sports Club. And Capitol Manor is going to hook up with Rivers Casino, because Rivers Casino is going to feed us lunch when we finish. For those that are concerned about children, you have to be 21 years old to go into the casino. So we have fixed that as well with Rivers Casino. You will never enter the casino unless you want to and you're 21. So when we leave here, we're going to all come back here. We're not here, but you don't have to meet with me. You can go straight to the casino. She will be looking for you. I will collect all vests at the casino. All picker-uppers need to come back to me at the Olympian Sports Club, because if they broken or whatever, I need to turn them back into the city. Because we have to have accountability for everything. On that note, me and my running, I got so many road dogs in here tonight, I'm happy. But, what do I call you, Commander?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Okay, Commander James Cullen from the United States Coast Guard is here with us tonight, and he's helping me with this cleanup, along with Portsmouth Sheriff Department, Portsmouth Police Department, and everybody else I done volunteered they was gonna do. So, come on up and come on and share with us where we standing together.
So, hello everybody. James Cullen. It's kind of weird to wear a couple different hats. So tonight's hat is I'm an active duty Coast Guard officer, but I'm also on this thing called the Mayor's Military Affairs Committee, which is a way of trying to get all the different military entities in the city, and there's several at several different locations, to try to talk and work amongst each other. I'm also wearing a different hat,